Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, Mr. Cosmic, in the building one more again. And just want to come to y'all and talk to y'all about Merida, Merida, Mexico. You see it, man. You see it. Come on, stop it. But yeah, and I want to just give my 2 cents for what it's worth on what I thought about Merida, Mexico, and what I thought about how it was to be there, and what kind of place, what kind of city I thought it was. If my sounds a bit off, it's probably because I'm in such a breezy area, right? So, you know, the windows, the cross ventilation is real good here, so um, you might get a lot of breeze. Anyway, um, Merida, Mexico. So I went to Merida and I was there for about over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And I stayed from the north side in Concal to the inner city and downtown area, I guess you might say, of Merida, where it's like a couple blocks off the strip. Um, and I'm first going to start off with arrival in Merida Airport. The arrival in Merida Airport was seamless coming in, but the issue when we got there is once you finally grabbed all your bags and everything like that, and you went to go out. One of the issues is that first of all, get a taxi before you leave the airport. If there's a taxi stand that you can get it before you leave the airport because they have a taxi place in their counter. And apparently there's some kind of thing going on where they don't really want Uber and everything to pull up, which a lot of airports is like that. But I didn't know that. I wish I had known that. As much as videos as I watched about Merida, I guess I didn't catch that part, or maybe people don't didn't say it or whatever. But they leave that out, or maybe I just missed it. But anyway, the point is that before you leave Merida, I mean, before you leave the airport, you go to the taxi stand and order your taxi to take you to your Airbnb or your hotel, whatever. Because if you think you're gonna go outside and stand right there at the exit, and an Uber's gonna be able to pull up, it's not going to happen. And the reason why this is so important to tell you is because if you with your family or you with people and you got a bunch it was me, we had luggage, we had a pet, all kind of stuff. It was truly, uh, um, it was truly a headache dealing with trying to get all of that stuff together and then get outside and there was nobody. And we calling the Ubers and the Ubers trying to call us back and talk back to us. And the issue was they were saying they were at the airport, but the reality is we looking around, we don't see nobody at the airport. We're like, wait a minute, you're looking at the map on Uber. If anybody knows how Uber works, you can look on the map and see he's not even really at the airport, he's across the street. And so the issue was being across the street was that you could not actually come, that they couldn't actually come. So he was constantly saying to me that, I'm here, but you got to come out of the airport. Apparently, there's a ban where you can't really come in the airport area. You have to literally walk your stuff out of the airport, out of the airport grounds, and onto the street. And you have to cross the main thoroughfare. Now, keep in mind, it's not like there's a bunch of stoplights right here to help you get across or nothing like that. No, literally, it's a bunch of cross traffic, and you got to run across the street and get on the other side of the street to catch the Uber. It was crazy. You talking about it was 9 o'clock at night or something like that when we got there, dealing with that stuff and not knowing where and what. And when I tell you it was a mess, and then on the way out, you got a bunch of people hanging out, asking you, you need a ride, you need a ride, you need a ride, trying to get you to get a ride with them. It's like I guess they hustling. Well, obviously you're not gonna go with a stranger in the dark, jump in their car. So that really that started the time off fucked up. So then okay, finally we just we just thugged it out. And I wasn't going back in the airport because actually we asked a couple people and they just kept saying, no, you can't get no taxi here. It was kind of this whole laissez-faire kind of attitude where dismissive and just know you can't catch a taxi right here. You have to go in and get a ticket or something like that. And we're like, go in and get a ticket for what? So anyway, I had already paid for that. for the Ubers and stuff like that. And so I didn't know what to do. So I just said, you know what, we just gonna cross across, call the Uber again, and while we're on the street, and that's exactly what happened. Once we got across the street, we were at the Uber, waiting for the Uber, and then it finally came. So, and told them where we was at. My suggestion to you, if you're not going to pay for the taxi and you're traveling light, go across, go right out of the doors, the exit doors, go right up the street because there's really a hard, it's like really no sidewalk for a part of that walk. And so you're literally walking in the street. So it's just so messed up because it's like literally you pulling all these suitcases and you in the traffic, you know how people are when they leave the airport, they hit on the gas. And so you're in the middle of the street with all these people flying out. It's like it was, man. So, and then there was no sidewalk. So it wasn't until we got halfway out that we finally was able to cross the grass and get in the sidewalk. But that's where all the people were standing at. Say, hey, yo, you need a ride? You need a ride? In the dark because it wasn't lit up. Mind you, that's another thing. It wasn't even lit up in that area. It's a dark ass area and path that leads out of the airport. There were a bunch of people laying standing in the dark in the cut. Man, look real shisty, man, real shisty. So that wasn't even cool at all. But so if you're gonna do that, and you ain't carrying a bunch of luggage, and you want to do it fast, and you could just walk across the street. Yeah, if you by yourself and all that, it's okay because you could just grab your stuff, put it on you, walk across the street, stand on the other side, call your Uber, or maybe call your Uber before you go across the street. It's only gonna take you about, I say, about 10 minutes to walk out to get across the street, maybe less if you're a fast walker and you don't have a bunch of stuff with you. But yeah, that would be the case. And then they pick you up. Okay, so that's one. Two, the rule about Airbnbs is that don't you ever book an Airbnb longer than a week or so before you actually know what the Airbnb is like. So that's traveler's rule number one, and make sure you understand that. Don't book longer than a week without on sight unseen. Okay. So that's what we want you to do, and make sure. So this particular case, I went to, I booked it. I booked it out of the inner city because where I was leaving from was so busy, so loud that I wanted to go someplace that was quiet. So I booked out of the inner city because I saw it on a couple of people's videos that being out of the inner city was real quiet, it was real peaceful, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So, needless to say, when I went on Airbnb, I booked it. It was for Concal, Conkal, and it was a community called Santa Fe North. And I went up there, and we got the guy. I ain't gonna tell you, the guy gave us a bunch of misinformation, bad instructions. It was all messed up, and finally we got him on the phone, and the guy had to direct the Uber driver in because the information he gave had us all messed up. So, and we get there, and all I can say is that it wasn't what it wasn't quality. What I'm finding is just this whole thing with the Airbnbs. Um, a lot of them are not really taking care of their Airbnbs. Like it's just a money grab, and they don't really care about them and stuff. So you have to, and a lot of people are not saying anything about it. They're not being honest. And my next video, I'm gonna talk about Airbnbs. When I leave Thailand, I'm gonna talk about the Airbnb here too. But and I'm not saying this just to be like a Debbie Downer. I'm just keeping it real, man. It's just like people don't get on these pages and they get on these channels and they don't say the truth. And it's like everybody's looking pointing the finger trying to say like you're a bad person because you're saying honest, because you're being honest. And it's like in this world, it's like everybody got to be pretentious and phony. And I'm just not going to do it. I'm gonna keep it real with you because man, I need you to know what you're going to be coming up against when you come out here, and don't let people flex and give you the impression that things are what they're not. You know, so I'm gonna tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Uh, so again, so we get to the Airbnb. Airbnb was less than quality. Couch was dirty, dog hair everywhere. I had to strip the bed. Luckily, I always bring an extra fitted sheet and a plastic mattress cover. always, if you're a traveler, always have you a plastic, at least queen size mattress cover and your own fitted sheet. So at the very minimum, you can lay down. I stay in warm areas, so I don't have to have a blanket or anything like that because I'm not gonna be in a hot area. But even still, I can bring. I always have my own little. I have a little zip bag where I pardon the noise in the background, and I always have me a little bag where it has two pillowcases, a sheet, a fitted sheet, and the plastic cover. So, and I wash that before I leave the Airbnb, and then that's just what I do. From one place to another to avoid from bed bugs and all of that stuff or anything that could possibly happen. But I never had no problem. But again, I take that precaution and stuff. And right before I leave, I wash everything and then I pack it away and then I leave. So that's just a little side note you can use as a traveler. Um, two, yeah, sometimes it pays to have a little thing, a bug spray or whatever, because a lot of times, especially if you travel throughout the Caribbean and stuff, you're gonna run into. I mean, or you buy it at 7-Eleven and you use it while you're there. That's up to you. Good thing to just have and stuff. Because all Airbnbs don't have cleaning stuff. I noticed that too. I come in places and you want to wipe stuff off, but there's no cleaning solutions. There's no towels and stuff. So always have you a quick dry fit towel that can dry real easily. At least have one, and that way you can go get you some cleaning stuff. At least one spray bottle of whatever you use, and you can spray out all the surfaces down from the store and everything like that. Another little key thing that I do is I try to get a place to have a tea kettle in it. So that way, what I can do is once I get there, the first thing I do with any utensils, plates, toilet, sink, everything is that I heat up a tea kettle of hot water and I pour it on everything to make sure that everything's sterilized real good from the toilets to the sinks to all the sinks to all of the plates and all the spoons. I put all the utensils in a glass or a cup or whatever, and I put the hot water so that they get cleaned and sterilized and stuff. So that's just another little tidbit for you guys, tip for you traveling like this out here. Um, Back to Merida. So then Concal, Santa Fe. First of all, highly recommended. Santa Fe, Concal area was to me like a mini Beverly Hills of that. I felt like I was in like LA. If y'all look back on some of my other videos, you might see it, me walking down the street through the area and stuff where I show how the area looked. Now, keep in mind, the area was really nice in general. Um, the issue is not having nice neighborhoods in Mexico. The issue in that particular part of Mexico is the upkeep of the nice neighborhoods. Like you get into the area and it's not long before you realize it's just not kept up the way you want to. But if you're looking for a chill place to just be able to walk, to be able to go jogging every morning, Santa Fe North in Concal, definitely thumbs up. They had you might now keep in mind if you Concal, you not as to walk to certain you can walk to certain things depending on where you at here because they do have Walmart and stuff and a lot of trucks and food vendors and stuff and stores. So it was not a shortage of things to be able to get. But however, if you want to be able to go back and forth through the city, you're going to have to be have a vehicle. So with that in mind, if you're not going to have a vehicle, you're going to have to pay for Uber going in and out of the city, back and forth. So just keep that in mind. I would suggest that unless you plan on just chilling out there and you're okay with walking to the stores or the Walmart, to set which could be a distance. It was a distance for me. Um, I would suggest that don't stay out too far if you're not going to have a car or a motorcycle, whatever. You're not going to rent something. So I would say that would be my suggestion to you for that situation. It's also, I would say in Concal, yeah, it was just nice. They did have pharmacies walking distance. They had like a little park. Again, it's the devil's in the details. So, you know, I don't think that there's any really a real association going on like you have a homeowners association in many different parts of other places of the world that take care of the upkeep of the locations. In Mexico, in Mexico in general, I don't think I didn't see a lot of neighborhoods, especially in Merida, that seem to have that kind of thing going on. So same thing with Santa Fe North. It was nice in general, but then you can tell it wasn't buttoned up. That's all. Now, when I came, I was there for about a week and some change, and I went down into the real city area because I wanted to be right on the main strip, right on the main drag that everybody talk about. I took the bus, which I would say if you're gonna take if you're gonna take the visitors tour bus guide, and you got to go right to the middle of the city downtown in Merida, the little park, and they have tour buses from there. It's not that much. I think it was probably like maybe I don't know how many pesos, maybe I don't know 100 pesos, I don't know something like that, 120 pesos, I forgot. But either way it goes, you catch the bus from the park, the main park there. I forgot the park out, something park, a main park, Plaza Park, or something like that. And if I would say if you're going to do that, do that first. Make that be one of your first things you do, so you kind of get an idea of what the surrounding areas look like. That way, before you get out walking or driving or stuff like that, you already kind of map it out in your head what you're looking for or what you want to go see. So if you're going to take the tour bus, the visitors tour bus, take it early. Hold on. I think it might be too loud with this wind. Yeah. Hopefully that's better. Okay. But yeah, so just do that. And now I did do museums. I mean, again, I got pictures and stuff like that on my social media of the museums. I would say the museums was okay. It's just like going to somebody's house. And basically, they took old people's house, put their old stuff in there. It was okay. There's a lot of museums. I guess they feel like they're really showing you something. It was okay. I don't really do. I'm more of an ancient artifacts kind of person. Just looking at people's old stuff didn't really do much for me. Uh, True, Ubers are easy to catch in the inner city, very easy. I was able to depend on them very much, and they took me everywhere, and they were everywhere, so no problem. Um, the main strip had everything on it, pretty much from tourist clothes, if you want to pick up a T-shirt or something like that, to nice restaurants, and it is it what basically how much money you spend and everything like that is really going to play a part as to the quality of meal that you get. Um, that's the reality. It's not like when I was in the countryside of Mexico where I was getting good food for a cheap price. In Merida, if you pay cheap, that's what you're going to get. When you pay quality and you spend like $150, I spent 150, I think, for two meals, four drinks. I spent and at one restaurant, and it was really worth it. But you had to spend that kind of money to me to have the high quality. Again, one man's trash is another man's treasure. What somebody think is high quality meal and what I think is different. You know what I'm saying? So in order to get high quality, I had to spend about $100 for two people. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. We're not going to deny that and say that, oh, yeah, you can have high quality for a cheap price. What is high quality to you? You know, and that's what it boils down to. Um, uh, and so I did actually, go up and down the strip. I took the bicycles, I rented those, went and saw everything. I did a lot of walking. I did laundry at a laundromat, local laundromat. Any kind of holidays or anything, just assume that if you're around during any kind of holiday, stuff will not be open. just assume it's not going to be open. If you can get a phone number and call, good luck. If they pick up the phone, even better luck. You know what I'm saying? But um, for the most part, if you haven't talked to nobody and you don't have a reservation, assume that it's going to probably be, it might be closed when you get there. So unless you just saw it open and you talked to somebody and they gave you the dates and times and all of that stuff, assume stuff going to be closed when you get there. Because so many times places had the times on there, and when I got there at those times, places wasn't open. So, but I was able to go do laundry, and I got a shout out to the laundry people at, and I guess I was unprepared for this, but the laundry place that I went to, they were really no, that's lavandery, I'm thinking about it, but it was a nice ass place, and the lady actually put my clothes in there, put the soap in there for me, and she washed it, and she moved it to the dryer. So when I came back, everything was already dry. So, and it was for a good price. So the laundromats, I would say, was probably one of the best service that I had the whole time I was in Merida, aside from the Ubers. The laundromat was about the best service. But again, I went to the second time before I would get ready to leave, and they wasn't even open on the day that was a regular day to me. But apparently, they had some stuff they needed to fix, and they closed the doors. So I had to get cut sometime to come pick it up from my hotel to do my laundry because the hotel didn't have no laundry. So I had to get a laundry service and paid triple. But anyway, that was that. Another thing, walking throughout Merida, and I did a lot of walking. You have to be very, very careful. I'm gonna tell you, literally, I watched a lady get hit crossing the street. Like a guy, I mean, I was standing right there. I was the one standing to help her when she got hit. I saw the whole thing happen. So literally, she was just crossing the street, and the traffic was all coming, going one direction, and she didn't see there was no traffic coming down the main street, so she decided to cross where the cross street. The guy decided to make a left turn and made the left turn without even looking because he was looking for oncoming traffic, and boom, literally hit her and flipped her. And I mean, I saw it happen. I was thinking, this guy has got to see the lady before. He never saw her because he was looking the opposite direction for oncoming traffic. So he hit the gas and made the turn, not knowing she gonna cross the street, and literally hit her, flipped her, and she hit her head on the truck and bounced off. It was a mess. So I went over there and just stood there until the ambulance came, man. And people were just standing around, and people were driving past, and they wouldn't even let her get out the street. It was it's like this lack of care. And then the guy who actually hit her told her, Can you just move to the curb?" And I was like, "Nah, man, she can't move to the curb, bro. I mean, that's crazy." And just the lack of concern for her well being. It just showed to me what kind of people they were, that he was in particular. The rest of the people just stood around like, oh well, another human. I'm expecting a bunch of people to come help. I don't even speak English. It's apparent that I'm not from here. I'm a tourist. And all the people who own stores and stuff. One guy came up and kind of tapped me on the shoulder. Is everything okay? Obviously, everything ain't okay. You speak Spanish. Talk to the lady. I mean, but anyway, it was sad. But anyway, luckily, she apparently didn't, I don't know what happened to her. Hope she's okay. But me and my friend stayed with her until the ambulance came and put her in the ambulance, and I didn't even speak too much because I really was going to tell them like, man, this dude was so fucking careless. He didn't even care nothing. He just turned the curve and hit her. But I didn't even get into all of that junk. I just made sure she got the ambulance, and she was like, "Thank you, gracias, gracias." I was like, "Yeah, no problem," and I just left it at that. So be careful. I say that to say, be very, very careful when you are walking in Merida. As you're walking down the main strip, be very careful. And anytime you're crossing streets, be careful. Be careful. There doesn't seem to be a right of way for people. Doesn't seem like they really care that much to have a right of way. Okay, there's two windows open. No wonder, for people. So Just keep that in mind. Nobody cares about where you're going and all that stuff. You got to care about yourself out there. Um, the other thing is that rent the bicycle. That was fun. That was cool. I rode that around, and it wasn't that much. It was only a few pesos for an hour. So yeah, we rode that. Starbucks was nice. It's a nice place to sit out there and chill. So look at your Google Maps and go to look up the Starbucks and go over there and sit out and have your coffee right there and chill. Um, Most of the other stuff on the street, I didn't find it to be very good food. To be honest with you, only in the hotels and the high restaurants. The hotel of the Museum of Gastronomia, that was good service, good food. Loved every bit of it. And then there was a hotel. I can't even remember the name of the hotel right now, but it was good, excellent food too. So I would say if you're going to eat by the hotels where the hotels are. If you want quality food, eat where the hotels are, because that's where they really serve good service and good food. Everything else, that's not impressed, man. Not impressed. I mean, like even when I bought chicken at the restaurant, it's like in Mexico they didn't give you no tortillas, no bread, no corn. No, I was like no rice. I was like nothing, no bread, no corn, no rice, no nothing, just the chicken. And the crazy part is there was none to order. It's different if you had to order separately. They didn't have no tortillas, no rice, no nothing, just chicken. I'm like y'all run a whole restaurant and y'all ain't got nothing but chicken. No. And different if your chicken was so killer. Alright, man. Alright. So I would say, you know, other thing. I didn't realize it was gonna go out so far, but so long. But hopefully, you can hear me. Um, Medical. Oh, before I get to medical, I'm gonna get to that second. Next, um, don't expect Merida to be a clean place. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I ain't gonna front to you. Merida was filthy. See if y'all can hear me better now. I don't really, the microphone not really doing anything, but yeah, Merida, Merida, y'all. To me, I don't know what nobody else talking about, but once you get off of that main strip, and trust me, man, I was walking most of the time that I was in the inner city, so you can't tell me what it's dirty. It's dirty. It's just that's what it is. It's a filthy, dirty, trashy ass city. Sorry, man. Sorry, not sorry. If you live there, you know it is. You know that the city is trash. Once you get off the main strip, you know that the sidewalks is uneven. Man, you damn near kill yourself walking down the sidewalk. You have to have your head down the whole time walking down the sidewalk because every house has a different level and layer as you're walking past. Some sidewalks done, some not done, some cracked, some broken, some high, some low. As you walk down, every person is responsible, I guess, for their own building their own sidewalk out to the street. So every single sidewalk is completely different. Man, you fuck around and damn near kill yourself. Don't think about it, man. Pay attention when you're walking because it's just not a walk. To me, it's not really that safe. Only on the strip where it's flat, because that's obviously where they want the tourists to be at. But every place else, trash bags of trash bottles everywhere. It's just junky and trashy. I'm just keeping it a dollar with you, man. I'm not gonna know if I can get on here and fake with y'all, man. I'm not a fake ass person. Keep my art, keep it real with my audience. Um, Two, medical. Okay. Now, that's the thing, man. I wanted to go get some dental work done, and I had some dental work done in Cancun before that was top tier. They sent a limo or sent a car to come pick me up, brought me to the dentist's office. The dentist and his assistant were standing outside when I arrived. They ushered me in. Beautiful office, sterile, clean, beautiful, professional. AC on, everything. This shit in Merida, first of all. almost every dental office was closed. One office only opened up in the afternoon, and two times I came back to come see it. The hours that were on the door, they were never open, even though they had it on the door. Another one I went to, it said dental office. I looked it up on my Google Maps, and I see that the dental office is there. And I walk over to the dentist office. I get there, broken plants and stuff hanging all over, leaning all over. I'm like, is this really a dentist office? Coincidentally, the guy Uber pulls up, and the guy comes outside of the house door next that's built right next to the dentist office. And I'm like, are you the dentist? He's like, no, that's my brother. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, when is the dentist office? Is this a dentist office? Is it open? He said, yeah, it's open, but he's gone on vacation. I'm like, man, you don't take care of the front of your office. So he called his brother on the phone to his credit. And his brother said, I'll be back in 2 days and just come around 10 o'clock in the morning. Needless to say, I didn't even go, man. I didn't even go. Um, as I was down in the middle of, so the third dental office, I was literally walking down to the middle of Merida, in the busy area with the shopping and districts and the house and hotels and everything, all the stores and lined all up and everything like that. And I see a dentist office with somebody sitting in there. It was open. I opened up the sliding door, whatever, walked in. He was right in front of a bus stop. So you had to say, excuse me, so you can get into the office. Um, and then when I get in, um, obviously the person at the front desk, she was very nice, very friendly. However, she said the guy was out to lunch. I was like, oh, okay. She said, can you come back in an hour? I said, sure. So we just went on down and came back, and he came in when we got back. Guy was sweating profusely. Um, he didn't have no dentist jacket to put on or anything like that. And to be honest with y'all, the guy was not clean. He put on gloves and then to go do something, open doors and do all kind of stuff, go to the front with the same gloves and then go to work on my mouth. I'm like, yo, yeah, yeah. I'm like, the glove broke and he's still working. I'm like, what you doing, bro? Just get another glove. It's like, what the fuck? And then the dude was shaking so bad. I'm like, dude, you on coke? I asked him straight up. I'm like, you okay, man? You okay? And he's, oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, this dude was not a dentist, man. They called him a specialist because they didn't want to call him a doctor because he obviously was not one. So, dude working on my teeth, and he didn't know certain protocols that because I'm very well versed with dentistry, I knew that some of the stuff that he was doing just wasn't some of the stuff like it basically seemed like he did 2 years of dental school. He ain't finished yet. He's like an intern or something. That's what it seemed like he was, an intern. So he didn't follow a lot of procedures that I already know that dentists do. And I had to tell him, he's like, oh, yeah, I can do that. I was like, yeah, you got to do that, man, because otherwise you got to use the blue paper. In other words, feel out where my teeth are rubbing together so that we can. And he was going about to send me out the door. Then I'm like, well, can you get some cement so that we could fill the gap? He filled the gap behind my tooth, but never filled the gap in front of the tooth. I'm like, and then asked for $100. I'm like, I'm like, bro, I could have did this shit myself. Literally, all I had to do was go buy some adhesive, put the crown back on, and then go buy the little stuff that they sell in the fucking pharmacy, and they could fill in the gaps. Just unprofessional, man. Again, like I said, everybody's experience is different. Maybe if you talk to somebody and pay their $8,000, $2,000 consultation fees, they'll tell you which dentist to go to. If it's that important for you to stay in Merida, you might. I mean, apparently that's what you got to do in order to find out where the nice places are. And again, I don't know that they're what they think is quality service would be what I think is quality service. Because just because when you go to a place and it turns out to be this way, you might think that that's good. To me, it might be substandard. I've been getting dental work in different places of the world. I'm in Thailand right now, and I just got some dental work before. And we talking about high class, three assistants standing around making sure everything's done, everything clean. It's just a different level, man. I don't care what nobody say. It is what it is. They can help you out. Call one time and they come on and they there. Place was air conditioned. Place in Mexico didn't even have hardly no air conditioning on. They had a fan on and shit. And so to me, that just spoke to what it was. So I just wanted to let y'all know that. And it's not this is not to badmouth the city or whatever. It's just tell me my experience, what happened to me. So I would say that if you're really serious about moving or going to live in Merida, there is some nice communities and stuff to live in, especially what I saw from outside of the main area, Merida, North Merida, and stuff like that. I can speak a nice community. So, if you're interested in doing it, I would say talk to a real agent or talk to one of these people who will charge you consultation, who will take you around, and it's going to be worth the money because whatever I don't know what they charge, but it's better than trying to go out there by yourself and do it because I can tell you right now, as a person who was out there 3 weeks. Oh, I want to big up that place, Homie Rent. I stayed in Homie Rent when I was there. It's HOMI Rent, and I stayed in that place. And to me, that was really nice. They scheduled my tour for me to go to Chichen Itza and the cenotes. They took care of a lot of things for me. So shout out Homie Rent. Y'all go check that place out. It was cool. But other than that, man, that's it. I'm Mr. Cosby, man. I just wanted to let y'all know how I felt about Merida, Mexico. And what I'm saying, y'all check it out for yourself. And I hope that helps with y'all. Peace, man. I'm out.